Super League basketball is levelling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first round of the playoffs here in Guildford, where the Surrey 89ers host the Cheshire Phoenix. The Niners finished in 7th spot this season, but were inconsistent at the finish line, dropping 3 of their last 5. They'll be looking to exact revenge on the Cheshire Phoenix, who have beaten Surrey in all 4 games this season and won their last 3 games to pit Manchester to 2nd spot in the SLB. However, it is a new ball game. It is the playoffs. It is the Surrey 89ers and the Cheshire Phoenix here on DAZN. Thank you so very, very much for joining us here at Surrey Sports Park. John Hobbs alongside Mark Clark. And Mark, 2 teams with contrasting styles, it must be said, but it all stems to be a thrilling playoff encounter here tonight.
Well, one thing you can guarantee at the Sports Park here is thrilling, because the last few weeks, be it a win or a loss, the 89ers have entertained, that's for sure. But then you get some look here at the 4 games that these 2 teams played, and the most common factor was the physicality, the transition basketball that Cheshire put on the floor has just been too much for the 89ers to deal with. The 89ers, one of the best teams in the league at sharing the basketball, in one of those games turned the ball over 20 times. And that's just an indication of what in-your-face basketball is like, Cheshire style. They run the ball, shoot so many shots in the first third of the offense, and really do score in a hurry. If Surrey have to find a way to slow down this Cheshire lineup, that can be fouling in transition, that can be getting back, but what they've got to do is really use those fouls to control tempo. It'll be incredibly important. They have to compete on the glass. They have to compete in transition, and then they might be a factor.
As you see the Surrey 89ers, they're warming up earlier on, and the big news tonight, no Ronald Polite for the 89ers. Yeah, that's a big loss, and so many of the other 89ers, particularly the younger stars off the bench, will have to step up here tonight.
Well, that's for sure. The bench has to take an opportunity. You've got 2 ways to look at it. You can feel bad, and you do feel bad for Ron Polite. He's been instrumental to Surrey's best season ever at this level. But someone off that bench has got to step up, and it doesn't matter who it is, but every single person's got to make a contribution.
And on the other side, the Cheshire Phoenix obviously arrived early here today, and they've been warming up a couple of hours before tip-off. Near full strength side for Ben Thomas, in very good spirit ahead of what should be a really fascinating playoff encounter, and every reason to be confident. They're 4-0 against the Niners this season.
Well, they're 4-0, and I think Coach Thomas needs a lot of credit for the way that he says to this team, this is the way we're going to play, and there's nothing better. You said in good spirits. This team love the way they play. They love playing with each other. They love playing for the organization, and they're playing at a great level. One of the few teams in this year to really push the Lions in sort of like up-front basketball, getting in their face and making them play at a level. Really, really impressed with the way Coach Thomas does that every single year.
And of course, they defeated the London Lions to start that 3-game winning streak that they hope to continue here tonight. There are the championship standings, the final championship standings before the playoffs. London Lions, of course, back-to-back SLB champions, and back-to-back seasons at the Caledonia Gladiators miss out on a playoff spot. Newcastle Eagles grabbing that last spot. But it's been a fascinating season, all year round, hasn't it? So many teams. Any team can really beat anyone on their night. And we've seen that with London Lions even dropping a few games.
Just look at the loss column. It tells you everything you need to know.
And there are the games, the playoff encounters that you will see, 2 legs to determine who will go through to the semi-finals. Manchester Basketball defeating the Bristol Flyers 98-95 yesterday. Of course, Newcastle, Leicester, and right here tonight, Surrey and Cheshire continuing the playoff stretch before we head into Sunday's 4-game encounter.
This is the time of the season, John. This is when we really put the season now. We've done it. Now it's just one-off games. Who's going to come to play in the playoffs?
So before tonight's game, we caught up with the two head coaches. We start with Cheshire Phoenix coach Ben Thomas. So Ben, what's the team news ahead of tonight's game, and have you got a full strength team?
Yeah, everyone's fit. Obviously, we're battling some little ongoing injuries, so practice hasn't been as probably full as we'd like it during the week, but we're all ready to go tonight.
It's been again a long season. Obviously, you were talking a couple of weeks ago how niggling injuries were getting to your team. How is the focus and how is the mentality of the guys ahead of the playoffs? A clean slate now.
Yeah, that was my message as soon as the game finished last Sunday about everyone 0-0. Doesn't matter really about league records or anything like that. These have got just as good a chance of us just going through. So we've been focused, obviously watch film, game plan, all that sort of stuff. And the guys are ready for it. If I have to motivate them for this time of year, I think they're in the wrong job and I'm probably doing something wrong. So we're ready to go.
And just finally, 3-0 against Surrey this season in the Championship. Obviously, as we just said, this is a different competition altogether now in the playoffs. What adjustments are you looking at, and what are you expecting of Surrey tonight?
Yeah, look, they got some real key guys. Obviously, Keno Lilly shoots the ball at a real high clip, so we've got to make sure we're ready to defend that. Michael Graham has hurt us all season when we've played against him, so again, we've got to make sure we manage his threats and his rebounding a little bit better than we have in the past. Obviously, they've announced that Polite isn't playing, so that gives us a little bit of a hand, but obviously they've still got two guards in both the Lawrences that are really good as well. So we've got our hands full. We can't take them lightly. We know it's just a game over 80 minutes, but we really want to try and get a good result tonight.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Cheers, mate.
Lloyd, we're here. It's for the playoffs. It's been a long season, but you've actually got a better record than you did last year. Just sum up how this season has been for you leading up to this point against Cheshire.
Yeah, I think again another season with positives. Moving forward, but still, you always look back with some frustrations. Felt like the last 2 weeks we lost some momentum, so we need to get back to that. Obviously, tough playoff game against Cheshire, a team that's had a great year themselves. So. Yeah, we know it'll be a tough challenge for us today, but this is why we work. A full season of lessons learned to try and put them in place today.
And just warming up behind us, it's a near full strength squad. How are the guys? How have they been feeling this week? And any team news for tonight?
Yeah, no Ronnie Polite today, which is a big loss for us. He's been superb this year. So again, guys are going to have to step up. Some of the younger guys, we're going to need great performances from them. I think Cheshire are a team that challenge you mentally. Got a unique style that we're going to have to try to take care of today. So, that's the challenge for us, to be ready for that. Their style, to be ready to impose ourselves on the game.
Best luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
The thoughts of both coaches before tonight's game. And just quickly, let's look at the ones to watch. Keno Lilly, of course, has led the team, 18 points per game this season. They'll need him tonight for Surrey.
Well, they absolutely need him. As you say, 18 points a game, shoots way over 40% from the three-point line. Got some clips here of the Bristol game that the 89ers had to win. He just took over. And I think that's the issue that he presents to any opponent. Once he gets going, he's automatic from everywhere. What you've seen in the last few weeks, though, is every team in this league keys on him. Every team in this league makes it physically very demanding for Keno Lilly. His teammates have to set good screens for him. If they get him open, he scores.
And that man right there, Pat Robinson, who actually struggled for the field in the last game against the Leicester Riders, but still had 10 points, half of his points coming from the foul line. He is a dangerous player, though, averages 20 points a game on over 50% shooting.
Well, I think great clip to start with, because he's such a handful off the dribble. If you don't keep him in front of you, he has angles, he has a lot of tricks, he has a lot of ways to get to the ring. And if you don't guard him and you space him, he knocks down the three. He's had a great season, and he sums up this team. They're in your face. They're going to take it at you as he does every single time. He epitomizes this team.
Pat Robinson, 20 points a game this season. Let's look at the starting five. And as per usual, Pat Robinson is actually on the bench. Frankie Policelli, Skylar White, LaQuincy Rideau, Tobias Cameron and Jackson Bretchley are your starting five tonight, but so much strength on the bench.
Well, that's the issue. For any team playing Cheshire, they've got enough depth to go with anybody in the league, and they keep going. They just say, this is us. You have to stop us. They're not gonna compromise for anybody. I love the way Coach Thomas just gets his team to believe in what he wants them to do.
To play Cheshire Phoenix basketball, that's something that's been instilled in this team. As we head over to the Surrey 89ers, Teo Ogundengbe, Andrew Lawrence in the starting five alongside Tyron Lawrence, Keno Lilly and Michael Graham. Still a strong five, though.
Well, I think it's a great move to have Andrew Lawrence out there. Normally, obviously, he's coming off the bench, but the GB International, so experienced, and in a game like this, cool heads and great execution. For me, John, physicality. If the 89ers match the physicality, they have a chance. If they don't, this is Cheshire all the way.
Well, we're about ready to go. Our referees for tonight, Simon Umsworth, Harvey West and Michael Diamond Hunter. As we get set for two legs. Remember, this is the first half, and the second leg takes place in Ellesmere Port on Sunday as we get underway here at Surrey Sports Park, and Surrey get the first possession of the contest with Lawrence. Ogundengbe. Lawrence hounded by Rideau. There is Keno Lilly Jr. Finds a gap, easy as you like to start.
Well, there's the advantage of having Andrew Lawrence. It's not so much anything that he does himself apart from being a point guard, but it gives Keno Lilly the chance to play off the ball, catch and attack.
Rideau looking for Skylar White under the basket. Bretchley can't hang on, and away come the Niners. Here is Tyron Lawrence to the basket.
Superstar defensively, their hands everywhere. They've really got to make some stuff happen at the defensive end. Superstar for the 89ers.
Rideau. White backing down Andrew Lawrence, and he's fouled. And that'll be a first foul on Tyron Lawrence. First minute of the first period.
Well, the 89ers looking to quite happily go switch 1 through 5, and I think that's a good idea. With, Skylar White can play on the inside, but you'd much rather him trying to play on the inside than on the three-point line. And they're getting after the ball. Good strategy by Coach Gardner.
Bretchley to the hoop, and Bretchley will head to the foul line for the Cheshire Phoenix to get them off and running.
My only issue with this, they can't waste fouls. Do a better job in the half court, making them take tough shots and making them. You've got to save some of those fouls for those transition situations.
And the Utah native, Jackson Bretchley, to the line. We see the foul there on Keno Lilly. And Bretchley misses the first. And an interesting story about Jackson Bretchley, a player who has been around a couple of continents, a couple of countries, actually speaks fluent Mandarin Chinese.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, player he has played in Australia and all around Europe. First season with the Phoenix and gets them off and running, but the Niners off to a 4-1 start. Ogundengbe in the corner misses everything, and Skylar White collects the loose change, and here is Bretchley. Cameron straight away a three, money.
Cheshire basketball. You run at me, I'm going to run it back at you. You better score, otherwise I'm going the other way.
Two teams, as said, with contrasting styles, but the Phoenix have certainly had the upper hand this season. Different game now as Graham muscles his way inside.
It's an important option for the 89ers. Got to have some balanced scoring. Nice finish in traffic.
White stolen away by Lawrence. Ball is loose. Body's on the floor. And the possession arrow favours the Phoenix, and Skylar White and Tyler Lawrence going at it early. And Michael Diamond Hunter, our official, has to get in the way of them both.
I don't understand, right? At the end of the day, it's very typical of a situation in the playoffs. There's a lot of emotion. Surrey are going after it. You know, so in going after it, there's going to be a little contact. Well, that's no different than happens every single week when Cheshire go after it as well. I'm not sure. There was no foul. There was clean on the ball, in my opinion, from where we're sitting. So let's just get up and play.
Skylar White, who spent a couple of years here in Surrey for the old Surrey Scorchers, now firmly entrenched in the colours of the orange of the Phoenix. Cameron looking to break free and does. 7 a shoot for the Phoenix. Cameron still has it. Lovely footwork to the basket. Can't get it to go. Gets it at the second attempt.
Well, they've got to swarm the glass on the 89ers at the defensive end. Can't give unopposed rebounds like that. Great finish by Cameron.
All tied up at 6. Lilly Jr. connects.
Well, you can see Coach Thomas's reaction. That's giving Lilly Jr. space.
And Bretchley goes inside.
You run at me, I'm going to run at you. I might be saying that all night. Great transition by Cheshire.
Both teams shooting the ball quite nicely to start. It's been a good start to this contest. Here is Graham. Andrew Lawrence attacking Skylar White. And it's rebounded by Cameron. Cameron now right down the middle, attacks Ogun Dengby. And Ogun Dengby stands his ground. Keno Lilly gets the step on Cameron. There's the extra pass. There is Lawrence. Lawrence attacks, pulls up, back irons the 2, and White rebounds. Rideau putting the moves on Andrew Lawrence. There is Cameron, corner pocket, and it's rebounded by Lilly Jr. Lilly Jr. gets it back from Andrew Lawrence. There is Ogun Dengby. He'll put up a 3, and that's short. And Rideau rebounds. Both teams now going a little cold.
Well, it's
Rideau. And now the Niners have numbers. Tyron Lawrence to Andrew Lawrence. Andrew Lawrence slows it down. Tyron Lawrence drives at White to great effect.
It's great recognition by Lawrence. Knew he had Skylar White. Knew Skylar White would struggle that far away from the hoop. Great finish.
Rideau. Wetchley. Wetchley high off the window, no good. Ogun Dengby rebounds. Ogun Dengby right down Main Street. He'll go to the line for a couple.
You know, I have a fair amount of sympathy for Coach Thomas and Cheshire on this. Penetration to the basket, I don't know if there was a foul or not, but there was some contact. Going the other way, similar sort of contact. And it's been a question that a lot of people have asked over the last few weeks. The number of fouls being called in every game has gone way down. And if that's a conscious decision, then I'm not sure, but contact at one end, contact at the other end. Referees are in a better position than me, but I can see why Coach Thomas is questioning that.
As Teo Ogun Dengby goes to the line, Hayden Ling and Nadis Shilovinskis comes in for the first time for the Niners. And on the other side, Matthew Zona and Pat Robinson into the game. So Pat Robinson, who usually starts on the bench for the Phoenix, comes in as the 6th man, looking to inject some energy. And that's what you want from your bench, isn't it?
100%, and he definitely does that.
Can't say any more from a coach, can you? As Ogun Dengby makes the second, he'll make way, and RJ Eitel-Rock comes in for the first time. Niners up 12 to 8.
John, sorry, these are the moments though. Rotations for the 89ers, they're obviously not as strong on paper as Cheshire. These guys, you said it before the game, got to come up with some contributions off that bench. Ling has to grab every rebound he can.
Policelli going strong at Shilovinskis and tipped in by Zona.
Well, there's your example. Zona doesn't stop. You know, he just keeps playing. Ling had position. He's got to get that. If they want to win, he's got to rebound.
Got to limit those second chance opportunities. Here is Lawrence. Shot clock in single figures now for the Niners. And Tyron Lawrence loses the handle. Shilovinskis comes to help. Shot clock winding down. Shilovinskis throws it up. And Bretchley collects the loose ball. Robinson twisting and turning. There is Rideau, a three. And Rideau collects his own rebound. Rideau now to the basket and another second chance opportunity.
Yeah, both of them poor. Ling had the opportunity to clear up the first one. Shevalinskas just didn't box at all and was out on the break. Got to get the ball first.
There is Hayden Ling, and Hayden Ling will go to the line.
John, I have this thing about big guys. If you're like Ling, play that big. You know, you don't need to touch around the ring there. He's guarded by the much smaller guy switching. Finish it hard. He catches it on the charge circle and goes all finger roll. No, get up and take the contact, and you should be looking at the and one or to finish the play and get on with it and get back on defense. Be big. You are big. Just be the finisher around the ring.
Bretchley comes out, and Demary Lindo comes into the game for the first time for the Phoenix. Hayden Ling at the foul line, a product of the Barking Abbey Academy, of course under the tutelage of James Veer. And that's one thing, Mark, that you love to see with this Niners team. So many Barking Abbey products. Obviously Lloyd Gardner, a former coach there himself.
Yeah, I think, you know, at the end of the day, Joe, I think it's great that British players get the chance to play, but they're getting the chance to play because they're good enough and they've really worked hard. Shevalinskas, the same, another product to that sort of system. RJ Erdl-Rock, another product to that.
Away come the Niners. Here is Erdl-Rock. Finds Cholovinskas in rhythm. A three, short, rebounded by Rideau. Robinson attacks, and Pat Robinson will go to the stripe.
He's hard to stop, isn't he? If he gets momentum, if he gets pace, if you don't pick him up as he catches the ball and slow him up, he's going to keep going. Watch this. No one stops him. RJ Erdl-Rock gets it, lets him get too deep. Not a lot of contact, I have to say, compared to some of the other things, but it's the pace he's going at the ring. It becomes a real difficult ask.
Well, Pat Robinson stepped up for the Phoenix against the London Lions a couple of weeks ago. Of course, the Phoenix and Manchester basketball really entrenched in a battle for second place, and Robinson stepped up against the champions in a big-time performance. That was the first of their 3 straight wins. They're looking to continue that on here tonight. Of course, this is only the first half of this game. Of course, the second leg in Ellesmere Port on Sunday evening, as Robinson gets his first points of the game. And we're tied at 14. Lilly Jr. Almost a mini horn set there as Erdl-Rock kicks it out. Tyron Lawrence, corner pocket, back irons a three. And right now, 0 of 5 from downtown, the Surrey 89ers, as Policelli bumped by Nedas Cholovinskas, and that'll be an offensive foul. Good stand from Cholovinskas.
That's a great stand. Stepped up, got there early. Contact all on the torso. Great example here. See, he steps up into the lane, takes the contact, gets there more than early enough. And I think that's the thing for the 89ers. You've got to be active, you've got to help, you've got to make Cheshire do something else. Make him make an extra pass, make him make a tougher shot. They've done that so well at the moment, and the 0 from 5 is killing the 89ers. Great three-point shooting team. They've had open looks, got to make them.
Cholovinskas gets a lane, steps through and puts it down.
Well, that's something that Coach Thomas is going to be worried about, because you've seen Nedas Cholovinskas have big games in big environments, semi-finals of cups. Seems to thrive on the moments.
Zona connects from downtown, and the Phoenix have a 1-point lead.
You've got to love Zona's contribution off the bench, right? Hits the three, gets the offensive rebound.
And shot is no good. Hayden Ling, though, on the follow, just as you were liking to see.
Got to see it, got to see it. Got to outwork your opponent in the playoffs.
There is Zona again, a three. That time it's in and out. And Cholovinskas, last season's most improved player, gets the rebound. Lilly Jr. creates some separation and connects.
Love that he does that. Defense isn't set. He's not getting hit and beaten up. He's got some space to play. Great decision.
Lindo, Diggins. 20-17, coming up to 2 minutes to play in the first. Lindo and 1. Strong play from Demary Lindo, and now he'll go to the line for 1.
It's just Cheshire, isn't it? You know, a little bit of momentum building. What do? They take it at you. They don't settle. If you're not going to guard and stay between them and the hoop, they are going to attack the ring. The foul, you know, the extra and ones is not something that the 89ers need to give up. They're already in the bonus, and Cheshire still have a foul to give.
Now for Lindo, someone who certainly typifies the playing style that Ben Thomas likes. University of Nebraska alumni, but he misses the extras. Lilly Jr. creates some separation again and buries a 3 over 2 Cheshire players. Huge shot. 4-point lead for the Niners. Diggins inside, and Diggins bumbles it in for the answer.
How often do you see that with Cheshire this year? Diggins always coming up with plays, always actually making it work.
Lawrence for 3, and now they're raining them. And for missing their first 5, they've hit back-to-back triples. Steal, that'll be a Phoenix possession.
Say it again, John. You know, coaches will say, you know, keep your hands out, move your feet. Yeah, that's all very well. But in a game like this, with the physicality, you've got to match it somehow. And the 89ers go after the ball. It's a tremendous way. There's Lawrence with a 3. That's why he started. Because he's been in these situations, he'll make those shots.
Certainly that veteran head that the Niners need. Tobias Cameron back irons his 3. Cholovinskis collects the loose ball. There is Lawrence. Cholovinskis wide open, a 3. No, it's off. Lawrence nearly got the steal there. Come up to 1 minute and 10 remaining. Lindo loses the handle, collects and scores.
Don't stop. Just don't stop playing, do they? I love their intensity.
Diggins nearly got the steal on Eitel Rock there, who just about gets it over the timeline and avoids an 8-second call. There is Lilly Jr. Lawrence, 6 to shoot. Eitel Rock driving off the window. 40 seconds left, ball is loose. Cholovinskis on the deck, there is Cameron. Robinson was calling for it. Diggins instead collects, but he's way off. And now stay with Cheshire, much to the chagrin of the Surrey players.
Oh, interesting. I think Mr. Unsworth is going to have a chat with his official, and that's what referees should do. That's great teamwork by the officials there. Obviously, the lead official unable to see the final touch. Vastly experienced official, Mr. Unsworth, sees the opportunity, and the teamwork plays for the officials. Should do that more.
Yeah, as the Quincy Rideau comes back in, Michael Diggins checks out. Simon Unsworth's got a long old journey after this game. He's got to go back to Manchester tonight as Lawrence misses the 2. He's got to work at NBL Junior Final 4 this weekend, bless him. As we come up to 16 seconds to play in the first. Here is Robinson. Robinson now lulling Eitel Rock, but misses the 2, gets his own rebound, and he'll go to the line for a couple.
Well, it's a great example again of Cheshire just not stopping. They just don't stop. There is never a time when they're not active and trying to create, trying to get after it. Take a look. Penetration, decent defense, but then look, 1 on 3 on the glass. He finds enough space to come up with it. You just got to credit the work rate.
Phoenix will head to the foul line, 3 of 5 to start, as RJ Eitel Rock comes out and Timothy Nwankwo comes into the game for the first time. Product of the London Stars program, and he's had a very decent first season here with the Niners, hasn't he?
Earlier in the season, John, he had some huge games. When the Niners beat Sheffield here, he was immense. His issue, like a lot of young players, you've got to do it week in, week out. Your baseline has got to be higher than he has been as a consistent. He's shown this year what a talent he is.
joined the Niners in the latter stages of last season. Didn't get many minutes as Robinson connects. No, doesn't connect on the second foul shot. Ball is loose, and that'll do it for the end of the first period. A high-scoring first 10 minutes. Both teams really executing on the offensive side. Towards the midway point, it went a bit cold, and then we've seen some great highlights to end the first period, but the Niners lead 28-23.
Well, that's definitely the way the Niners have tried to play the game this year, making threes, spreading the floor. And as you said during commentary, John, once they made one, it was like London buses. They came along in a bunch. And Keno Lilly looks like he's here to play, and Andrew Lawrence has made a huge difference. There's the numbers. And you can see the offensive end, except for that the 25% from the three, which is way below both teams' average. The rebounds are always going to foul Cheshire, but if it's like 14-10, then everything is really controllable by the 89ers. Do love the way the 89ers have tried to match that physicality with some quickness at the defensive end. And also, they're making stuff tough around the ring in transition. Nice first quarter, really set up nicely. As you've said, John, game doesn't get decided tonight, but the 89ers have got to hang tough for the whole 40, because the one team that will guarantee to be here playing all 40 is the Cheshire Phoenix. But as you see on the highlights, Lawrence has got going in transition. It's been really good that they're trying to deal with a Ron Polite absence. And this from Michael Graham is so important. Around the ring, getting points for the 89ers. But when Keno Lilly is in rhythm, the 89ers are a match for any team in the league. They've beaten they're one of the few other teams to beat the London Lions. So they're a team to be feared, even without Ron Polite.
And Keno Lilly Jr. leads all scorers right now. He has 9 points on 4 of 5 shooting for the Surrey 89ers. Tobias Cameron and Matthew Zona off the bench have 5 each for the Phoenix. 28-23, and we might sound like a broken record here tonight, but this is just the first half, with the second leg incoming on Sunday evening. But for Surrey, it's so important to get an advantage here in front of their home crowd, because this potentially might be their last home game of the season. They need to get an advantage here tonight, and they've got off to a very good start.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Even if a 1-point win is enough in many ways, go up to Cheshire with an advantage. Completely different psychological approach.
Tyron Lawrence. Cameron with great hands, and Cameron gets the steal. Robinson will collect that. Good defense from the New Zealander, and he attacks the basket and puts it in. What hustle from Cameron.
Well, living up to the name. Level with that family, that New Zealand legendary family.
Yeah, just like his dad, Pero. There's Lawrence attacking. Rideau, full head of speed. There is Skylar White, traditional three.
Just don't let him get too deep on the penetration. You know, once he gets that deep, he's going to find the open man. He just happened to be Skylar White.
Skylar White from downtown at the other end. Nwankwo inside.
What a pass. What a super pass by Lawrence. Didn't make a hard pass, just laid it out there, just bounced it to him. And didn't quite look like Nwankwo was totally convinced it was going in. Crawled over the front of the ring. He won't worry about that. His team lead 32-28.
Just getting the moisture technicians involved early in the second period. There is Lloyd Gardner. Got to be very happy with what he is seeing alongside his assistants Mark Dunning and Henry Wilkins.
There's a lot of years of experience with Mr. Dunning there.
Well, you were going to mention Henry Wilkins there for a second.
No, he's at the other end of his coaching career.
White again from downtown.
If you're going to literally switch screens, you've got to switch and deny White. You can't let him establish position, establish balance, and then catch and get the release away.
Had 7 of them against Surrey back in February. At 23 points, here is Lawrence. Cholovinskis. He misses everything. Policelli. Of course, Cheshire, the leading scorers in all of the SLB. They average 95 a game. Surrey doing well to keep them at bay, but they only trail by 1 as Policelli puts it in, and a foul! Off the window and down, Frankie Policelli. Huge score, and Phoenix have the lead.
Well, we need to see it again because they're all exactly the same. I'm not sure how much contact there was from Lawrence, but and there was a little bit, but Policelli, like everyone else in an orange uniform, there is no such thing as a bad shot. If you're taking shots that you take in practice, there's no such thing as a bad shot on this team. They shoot with confidence.
Well, it's his first points of the game. He's averaged 13 points against the Niners this season, and a steal from Cameron. Good recovery, though, from Lawrence. It will stay with Cheshire. Didn't need to be like that, but Cheshire get the ball.
Well, what's that, the second steal or second... Yeah,
that's the second turnover.
Second steal from Cameron in this early part.
And Lawrence kind of got his revenge, but the Niners will give up the ball. Phoenix get it back.
A little bit pushed out of bounds, but...
I'm saying nothing.
It's just... Contact is different.
White, no hesitation. Third three for Skylar White. The emotion running through Skylar White, and it's a 6-point lead for the Phoenix. Timeout, Lloyd Gardner.
Well, that's a 10-point turnaround. 4 down, 6 up in no time, and that's Cheshire basketball. Things happen in no time, and you can cope with Skylar White making one, and maybe if he does well to make a second one, tremendous, but you don't give him a third wide open one out of bounds. I mean, you don't switch off him. You've got to actually play in his space, and this is an out of bounds play. Too late defensively. Once he's feeling it, he is really feeling it. You've got to make him put it down, and he is an emotional leader of this team. Every week, Coach Thomas gets someone to make that emotional step, and then his whole team go with it.
Well, he certainly bleeds Cheshire Phoenix through and through. All 9 of Skylar White's points have been from downtown, 3 of 3, and they're all come in the second period. Tobias Cameron with 7 leading the way. Keno Lilly Jr. with 9 yet to get off the mark in this second period. However, a great start from the Phoenix, a 15-4 start, and we've only played a couple of minutes here in this second period.
Well, you said it, and I've said it. One thing's for sure, in games with Cheshire Phoenix are going to have runs. They have just exploded at the start of this second quarter.
Well, we said it off air, didn't we? In historic meetings between these two teams, the Phoenix have gone on a burst, and Surrey have not really capitalised or recovered from that, and they've got to really get a few stops, get a few quick buckets, otherwise this could get out of hand. They don't want it to get out of hand, it's only the first leg. Cheshire, though, definitely have the advantage, and another turnover from Surrey. Here is Rideau.
Well, I have memories of that 20 turnover game.
Robinson to the basket, no good. Here is Policelli wide open, and he connects. Frankie Policelli, and right now Cheshire are a living, breathing firework. Lawrence nearly stolen, and it goes out of bounds. Surrey will keep it.
John, the difference more than anything else at the moment is that the 89ers are being forced to play on the dribble. And in playing on the dribble, it sets it up for the guy on the ball to have a stab. Cameron's come up with both his steals on the dribble. They almost got another one there on the dribble. When they move the ball, they get a step, or they get a step and a half to play off the catch. When they're on the floor, on the dribble, the defense knows where it is, gets it to areas where they can literally safely go for the steal. 89ers got to get back to moving that ball a little bit early. Lawrence is on the floor. He's got to get back to take responsibility at the point. He's there for that reason. It helps everyone else around him. Happy coach and shot right now.
And that certainly is the happy coach right now, as Diggins and Quetchley come back into the game for the Phoenix.
Really small lineup for the 89ers as well, with Teo at the 5.
Oh, gives them a bit of space, maybe a bit of speed as well, as Lawrence can't connect. And here is Policelli. There is Bretchley. Rideau. And Lawrence bats it out of bounds. It will stay with the Phoenix. Plenty of time on the shot clock and 3 minutes play. Well, 2:58 if you really want to be precise.
That's an amazing 2:58 for Cheshire.
Yeah.
That's just an amazing, just sums up their ability to just score in a hurry.
18 points, incredible from the visitors. And a 9-point lead, Rideau. And that's long, and it's rebounded by Cholovinskas, kept in and collected by Andrew Lawrence. Cholovinskas. Keno Lilly Jr. 9 to shoot for the hosts. Ogun Dengby at the top, a 3, short, rebounded by Bretchley. Rideau, lovely twist, finds Diggins for the flush.
All their points early in every offense. Just I love the way they play in transition.
And 20 points in under 4 minutes as Lawrence gets inside for 2. Here is Diggins. White puts the ball on the floor. The layup is no good. The follow is pure.
Well, again.
And Ogun Dengby and White getting into it a little bit. 2 former teammates. White walks away. Ogun Dengby with a smile on his face. SSP are booing. And White will come out. As Matthew Zona comes back in. Lindo also checks back in. Here's the replay of it. You see Skylar White misses the first, gets the second, and then, well, 6 and 1, half a dozen of the other, really, wasn't it?
Yep.
Now another whistle has gone. But Skylar White getting the points inside, and we spoke about this off air. He's actually taken more 2-pointers this season than he has last season. He took under 2 shots a game from inside the arc. He's taken around 4, but still double what he shoots from outside.
At whatever stage you are of your career, you have to keep developing. And so, like, Skylar White, obviously everyone in the league knows he wants to shoot the 3. He's now added a little bit more going to the ring, like you just saw. And that every player has to do that, especially if they stay in the same league for a number of seasons.
And nearly another steal. Ball is loose. Lindo was pulling at Tyron Lawrence's vest there, and
in front of the official.
In front of the official. And
let's take a look.
Well, we'll see the replay, but this has happened quite a lot. Deflections, interceptions from the first pass.
And he just grabbed his shirt.
And there you go, yep. Tamari Lindo grabbing the shirt of Tyron Lawrence. Well, it certainly has a playoff basketball type of physicality. There's no question about that, isn't it?
See, John, you and I both cover a lot of European basketball and stuff like that. Referees don't allow that to happen because they don't want things to develop from it.
And Tyron Lawrence getting Lindo on the deck. And Teo Okungdengbi puts it in. He wants a foul.
It's embarrassing.
Diggins now driving to the basket. He puts it down.
Diggins, unbelievable intent.
And referees have got to get some sort of calm here because both teams are certainly the emotions getting the best of them. This is playoff basketball.
So we get a technical for leaving. How is that not a foul, John? I can't understand how that's not called. And then they give a technical for that, and it happens after, and he knocks the ball away. I'm at a loss. I'm not normally at a loss.
It's not every day as a former head coach you are at a loss, but
no.
Keno Lilly makes the extras.
But there you see, like, and then now both coaches, most players are now in a situation where they're lost the confidence in what the officials are, how they're going to call the game, which is not a place officials want to be. This is a great game. It's a serious.
It's been a fun game so far.
Cheshire is just demonstrating how good a team they are.
Eitel Rock into the game and on the ball. Here is Tyron Lawrence. Coming up to halfway through the second. Lawrence attacking. Lawrence can't finish. Agonizingly falls out. Here is Lindo. Lindo attacking. Lindo, good steal there from Lilly Jr. Kept in by Lawrence. Here is Ogundengbe. Euro stepping. And he'll go to the line for two. And you can see the crowd now getting into it. This is certainly a playoff atmosphere and a playoff basketball to boot, as Sholovinskas will check in for the Niners. But before that, we'll get a timeout. Ben Thomas wants to call a halt, but his team up 10.
Well, Coach Thomas, I think, even though we'll talk a lot about the way Cheshire will run at you, they're aggressive, etc., it's always within what they do. It doesn't get to a scenario where they're out of control. They're always under control, just at a fast pace, just being aggressive. Tough finish. That's their first points in ages when Lawrence went there. And it is the incident where we ended up with a little bit of dancing after.
I mean, quite the case for the three-point play, I guess. However, I'm not a qualified official. I'm in no... I just cover the game.
Okay, let's word it this way. Coach Thomas is really unhappy with what happened on the previous play that we had a replay. Coach Gardner's really unhappy down here. Both sets of players are really unhappy. Then I'm sort of, all I'm getting is like, I'm questioning why they're unhappy. There you go.
And the technical foul earlier was called on Michael Diggins. He went to the bench straight after. 5:02 to play in the second period. Cheshire, who trailed 28-23 after the first, now exploding out the gates with 20 points in under 3.5 minutes. And they lead 47-37 as we see Tyron Lawrence there, who's certainly taken a beating, hasn't he, early in this game. He has 8 points. As we see Cheshire dominating the rebounds, 21-12.
We said before the game how, without, talk about like the size or whatever, Ron Polite is a really good defensive rebounding guard. He gives a little bit of size. It's not just the ability he has as part of that three-guard offensive punch that the 89ers have. He really helps on the glass. Taylor Ogundengbe is a scorer. And at the moment he is struggling. He just needs this free throw to go. Maybe that'll get his rhythm going.
Well, he's certainly improved his three-throw technique over the years. When he started out back in London at the Capitals, he was a 47% foul shooter. He has gone up in the years, now in his 12th season in Surrey, but he takes his place on the bench. Here is Bretchley to Rideau, Cameron. A fantastic second period from the men in orange. Bretchley, a three.
It's risky. If you go to the zone against this team, it's very, very risky. You can see why Coach Gardner would do it, and you might have to live with them making one or two.
Had 14 points here against Surrey back in February. That's a travelling violation. Another turnover for Surrey as Pat Robinson and Michael Diggins come in.
It's just relentless. The players coming off this Cheshire bench, the tempo, the intensity they're playing with. Coach Thomas does a really nice job at keeping that level high throughout the whole 40.
Ben Thomas coming up to a decade of coaching here at Cheshire. Started off as an assistant coach. Now, of course, firmly at the helm of this franchise. Zona a three, no good. Rebounded Sholovinskas. Lawrence. Lilly Jr. a three. Lilly Jr. puts it in from no man's land. Robinson stumbles and a foul. Pat Robinson at the other end. And he gives the referee a few words as well, and now he needs to calm down, but he'll go to the line for a bonus. Tyron Lawrence, and that, believe, is his second foul.
Yep, second foul for Lawrence.
There's the 3 there from Keno Lilly Jr.
Nothing sums up how Cheshire played this game than that. Lilly Jr. makes a great 3, and you're thinking, hey, that's good. They're back now into single digits, and straight off the pass, straight at the defense. If you're not ready, they're going to go. If you don't stop them, you've got to stop this team being that aggressive that quickly in the offense. If you don't make that effort, they are going to do this to you all night.
Pat Robinson collects the free throw. He actually struggled from the field, as mentioned at the top of the broadcast, against the Riders. It's only 2 of 13. Still managed 10 points, and that win against the Riders leads them to this point. There is Lawrence, finds Cholovinskis, corner pocket 3. Getting back into it now, the Niners, under single figures. Diggins to respond, which he does. It's back to double figures.
It's not enough to be there. You've got to have a hand in the lane, and you've got to have a hand up in the eye line before he starts to shoot it.
Lawrence dancing. That's a wild pass, especially with the RJ Eitel Rock right in the vicinity, and the poor young cheerleaders, I think, got one.
Did she not catch it? Did she turn it
Certainly
over?
wasn't expecting it.
She definitely turned it over out of bounds.
Tyrone Lawrence comes out, and Andrew Lawrence checks in for the Niners.
It is just relentless from Cheshire, both ends of the floor. Joy. It's an absolute joy to watch them play basketball.
3:10 to play in the half. Robinson exploding, and Pat Robinson again gets fouled, and he will go for trips 6 and 7 to the stripe. Cholovinskis protesting his innocence. We'll see it here on the replay.
Well, in the referee's defense on that one, I don't know how much there was in contact, but the downward swipe by RJ Eitel Rock makes the call very easy for the official, or it makes the easy interpretation by the official. But John, like we've said the last couple of possessions, last couple of times that the 89ers have scored, it's down to single digits. They can build on this right off the bat, whether it be the three-point play, whether it be the three-pointer, whether it be that play. They have just gone straight down the floor, down the gut of the defense, and created advantage and good options for the Phoenix.
Robinson makes the first. 3:07 to play here at SSP in the first half. Robinson misses them both. Skylar White says thank you very much. Here is Rideau driving at Lilly. And Rideau, that's too easy for LaQuincy Rideau. And that forces Lloyd Gardner's hand into a timeout. But right now for the Cheshire Phoenix, they're getting absolutely everything they want.
100%. 100%. It doesn't matter if the 89ers go down and score. They're just not scoring enough. Literally on that little run that the 89ers had offensively in terms of being efficient, Cheshire have scored on every single possession for the last 5 trips. It's just relentless. 59 points with 3 minutes to go.
Exactly, and both teams, what's incredible is Surrey are actually shooting at a higher percentage from the field than Cheshire in this game, as we have a look at a few of the highlights. But one staggering thing is with that, Cheshire have taken 8 more field goal attempts, and it comes from the steals they get at mid-court. Just that entry pass is just deflected, it goes loose, and Cheshire are off and running.
Absolutely right. It's there. As good as they are offensively, the defense has given them opportunities to run, has given them opportunities to get those more shots. We said at the beginning of the game, match the physicality and you've got an opportunity. They are literally challenging the opponent and the official on every single minute, second of the game. And that is not a criticism, that is not an attempt to water down anything. They are just playing at that level. It's a step higher than the 89ers. The 89ers need a bit of help here.
Of course, missing Ron Polite tonight, who leads the league in assists, 6 a game, and certainly a huge loss. And that playmaking ability, that size that he brings, that inside and outside touch, they certainly need that.
We have a technical.
Yeah, we have another technical, yeah.
Somewhere. I think Coach Gardner may have picked it up on the timeout.
Well, we'll restart it. It's a 15-point lead for the Phoenix. We've played over 7 minutes now. Here in the second period, here is Andrew Lawrence. Keno Lilly Jr. A three. And gets the friendly roll. It thought about it, wiped its feet and dusted itself and went down.
Well, I said they needed a bit of help. Got it off the ring on that occasion.
And you were right as well. It was a technical foul called on Coach Lloyd Gardner as Skylar White misses his first three-point attempt in 3 attempts.
Any coach would love coaching this team for their physical, their intent. Chris never gave up on that play, almost come up with the offensive rebound. Surrey have got to stop looking at the official and take care of business themselves.
Lawrence, and that's a travelling violation, caught in 2 minds. He wanted a pass, but a bit of a miscommunication there, and that's a rare lapse of concentration from Andrew Lawrence, a veteran.
Yeah, but that's the relentless nature of the defense. That's what it does to you. It wears you down, and even the best get pressurized into moments of those lapses.
Andrew Lawrence, of course, representing Great Britain at the 2012 Olympics as Skylar White misses his second three-pointer in a row. Here is Lawrence, and inside, and the finish.
Wow.
From Michael Graham, and he'll go to the line for a bonus. Michael Graham flirts with a double-double on an average this season. Haven't seen much of him in this game, but
wow,
right there running the floor.
It's an interesting foul. That's a lot of downward action.
And Dejani Parkinson coming into the game as well for the first time. Player who was actually on loan this season to BCB side Hemel Storm. Had a good season down in Hemel Hempstead, now returning to the Niners. And he'll see some minutes to end the first half. Here is Robinson. Robinson driving to the basket. High off the window, no good. Cameron there on the follow, and an offensive foul has been called.
That's just a tough offensive rebound. Protecting the ball. I don't think he extended anything. Let's take a look. It's a great rebound. Works early, gets position, has it.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, we get back to live action. Here is Andrew Lawrence. Keno Lilly Jr. in and out. Ball is loose. Rideau over Graham. Here is White, a three, corner pocket. Fourth three-pointer for Skylar White. Lawrence driving at White, doesn't get it the full, blocking foul, late whistle. But a foul called on Skylar White to a rumptious round of applause from the Surrey 89er fans. That'll be a second foul on Skylar White, who has a few words for Mr. Diamond Hunter.
Not really sure, again.
Oh, here's Skylar White's three at the previous possession.
Wow, you know what?
Well,
tell you what.
His feet were moving.
Yeah, but I tell you, defensively stayed in stance, moved his feet, contact was all on the torso. Probably the correct call, but it wasn't. I think it was a great effort defensively. For the big man on the switch, did a really nice job.
Matthew Zona coming in for White for the final minute of the first half as Andrew Lawrence hits the first.
I tell you, John, if the 89ers get in here to the half, down single digits, they will be very positive. I don't think any team can play any better than Cheshire have just played in this quarter.
Well, they've shot around 62% from the field in this second period alone, as Diggins goes inside, puts it down, and one. Another three-point play for the Phoenix.
Just so tough, so quick. Shevelinskas just stood, just for that moment, that split second on the split line, on the help side, and Diggins just attacked the space. Just what you see, Shevelinskas watch the ball. By the time he comes back to him, the front cut's beating him. He draws the contact, finishes the play.
Yeah.
Diggins just makes stuff happen.
Saw the contact was coming, and Shevelinskas didn't get his hands up quick enough. And that's a first foul on the former Great Britain junior. Here is Keno Lilly Jr. Guarded by Zona, runs into a straitjacket, finds Andrew Lawrence. Lilly Jr., no hesitation, grazes the rim. Shevelinskas did well to try and get that. There is Rideau, comes out. Well, there's a 2-second differential between shot and game clock. Great defense from Parkinson. There is Robinson. Shot clock winding down, along with the game clock, no good from Robinson. Final seconds of the half. Lawrence will have to heave, throws it up, and that's off. And that ends the first half here at SSP. And the Cheshire Phoenix, having trailed 28-23, have exploded into a 42-point second period, and they lead the Surrey 89ers 65-50.
As close to perfect, John, in that quarter. Cheshire defensively, steals, rebounded really well, shared the ball. Skylar White got going. The shooting, literally, it's just a tremendous offensive performance. But the thing is, as you said, 10 more field goal attempts than the 89ers, and that against a team that scores, highest averaging team in the league. You can't give them 10 more shots than you. It's just suicidal. 11 more rebounds. They've just done a tremendous job. 19 assists. They share the ball. It's a fun team to play on. If you're in that Cheshire Phoenix team, you love playing this team. Great job.
And you see the rebounds there, 27-16. They've outscored the Niners 13-2 on second chance points. That's another damaging factor in this first half as we look at some of the highlights for the first half. But it started well for the Niners. They were shooting the ball well. They got some good stops. They turned it into points at the other end. And then, of course, this wild 4-point play from Frankie Policelli. This just basically summed up the second period for the Phoenix. Everything dropped.
Absolutely. But again, if you work hard, good things happen. So they were in that place defensively. They got the momentum with those early steals from Cameron, and they just turned the screw and keep turning it. And then Skylar White got going to hit 4 threes in that quarter. And they're just on their day, they're a match for any team in this league. You have to make them play slower. It's impossible.
And Skylar White leads the way for the Phoenix with 14 points. All 14 points coming in the second period. Keno Lilly Jr. leads all scorers right now with 16. It is half-time here in the first leg of the first round of the SLB playoffs. The Phoenix lead the Niners 65-50.
Super League basketball is leveling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
The programme was created primarily because we see, the responsibility we have to the development of youth basketball within the country. I think, the professional game within this country needs to understand its responsibility to growing basketball. Player development programme primarily is for people that are already playing at a level. They may already be playing for National League teams, whether that's, in and around the Surrey area, whether that's further afield. Whether, over the future, whether that's playing teams for clubs that are the Surrey 89ers. But it's being able to access either, at certain points during the year, whether that's, performance camps or travel teams, or even remotely, programs that we're trying to put together. So it's trying to, add addition to what clubs are being able to do and resources that clubs are able to provide. Thinking of areas like strength and conditioning, mental performance, expertise that we have within our club, and perhaps those junior teams or people from areas that don't have a structure locally to them that they can plug into. Hopefully this is a way that they can, experience a more elite level, something that will help them develop outside of their clubs or in hours that their clubs can't provide.
I think here was the best place because then immediately I'm like practicing because as soon as I came here, Lloyd was like, the practice on Tuesday, be there. That was it. And I was like, yeah, I'm straight into the system. In fact, last year I used to be skinny, so, lifting weights, having access to the gym, cardio, stuff like that, makes me be at the level to be at the pros. But then now it's time to, get the experience and stuff up. I say, it's one of the top pathways due to the coaching.
The goal is to lift the level of basketball on a broader spectrum. So, by helping youth players across the country or within Surrey, is hoping to lift the level of junior players. I think everything is connected. That's sort of something that we understand. The better the level of the base, the better the level of professional players coming into our game. The better the level of the professional players, the better British basketball is in the wider world. And the better the level of our national team, that increases the profile for both our league and the national team, which I think go hand in hand, and they can support each other to grow the game, to make it more commercially sustainable, to make it bigger, to make it better in every level.
Obviously training with the pros every day, you learn quick and you get better much quicker. So yeah, it definitely felt like a whole different level. Lloyd, of course, as a coach, he looks after the youth. Obviously Dan too, they both mentally, they're really locked in on helping the youth for British basketball. So I knew it was a good choice.
I would say the message is it's a tough road. I think that that can't be underestimated, how difficult it is to be a professional, but the only way that you can get there is through hard work. And I think that, as we said at this moment in time, there is it's a struggle for certain players to get the opportunities needed. Court time, expertise, the overall program of what they need. Touched on video analysis, strength and conditioning, mental, development as well. So programs like this hopefully can help fill some of those gaps that there currently are in the UK. And I think over time, again, we want every team, every club, every opportunity to be great. That everybody across the country can access things, whether that's with us or with somebody else.
It's the first time we've ever had a major final in British basketball here at the AO Arena.
The 2026 Super League Cup Final is underway. Harrison drains the three. Gale to the basket. Out to Hottinger. Three is good for Ronnie Hottinger. Lewis spins to the basket. Great finish off the glass. Ciara finishes under the basket. Gale dancing around the outside, steps back. That will do it. The Sheffield Hatters are your 2026 Cup Final winners. This has to be a fantastic final.
Speed from Phillip getting to the rim. To the spin move. What a finish from Gavos Savoy. Steps away. Johnson splashes. Another three. Jordan Johnson is on fire here in the final. There's McGusty and he's fouled as well. Jordan Johnson again. What a play from Tariq Phillip. McGusty does go on McGusty from the elbow, and it is London who's made it 2 from 2. They are the cup champions.
I started when I was 6. I actually originally went to go do judo because that's what my dad wanted me to do, but I was too young, thankfully. And obviously being Lithuanian, I really wanted to play basketball, so my dad took me to a club, London's Baltic Stars. It's London Stars now. It used to be Baltic Stars, and I started at the age of 6. I was born into basketball pretty much. Anytime, you know, Žalgiris was playing or any Lithuanian team was playing, it's the whole family on the couches watching the games, you know, and our neighbors probably thought we were crazy because we were like shouting and screaming and stuff like that. So I was definitely born into it. Like, I can't remember a moment in my life where I didn't love basketball. Obviously my dad and mum used to be like, you know, studies, you know, you never know where basketball could take you, this and that. I used to say, no, mum, dad, I'm going to be a professional basketball player. And they used to say like, you know, you got to get your studies first. I used to say, no, just say basketball's first for me always. I'm going to be a pro. And thankfully it's kind of happening now. So playing in the country that I grew up in, I was born in, having everyone around me, kind of, when I was younger, I really didn't want to move away from my family, my friends. But that's why I thought if I stayed in England and played here, I'll be close to everyone. I could make a living out playing basketball. Everything's kind of like a dream life, pretty much. So that's the reason behind it. I didn't let it get to my head. Luckily, I have a dad and mum who really keep me humble. So whenever I said something that was a bit like, you know, I'm getting a bit too big for my boots, they would drag me down and, you know, kind of humble me. And that's now kind of my mentality. Like, I don't really care what people say, even if it's good or bad. I appreciate the good stuff. The bad stuff, I don't really look at it. But I'm kind of just trying to do me and, you know, keep moving forward, keep getting better. Yeah, like, first time stepping on the pro court, I was like, damn, this is different. You know, you got a lot of nerves and stuff, but, you know, it's fun. I like it. It kind of makes you feel alive. You know what I mean? It's been a while since I got nervous to be on the court in the basketball game, you know? So, yeah, it was definitely like, I thought I was dreaming for a little bit, but yeah. Being a younger guy in the league and actually being a role player, I kind of get it. Obviously, I never look at myself in that way. But yeah, I always get like messages and stuff to me saying like, oh, how do you do this? How do you practice? How many shots you take a day? What's your gym schedule? And I'm like, wow, people are asking me for advice. Like, I'm kind of learning and going as a player myself. So yeah, I guess a bit of a role model, you can say.
Super League basketball is leveling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Welcome back to Surrey Sports Park, where it is all Cheshire Phoenix at the moment. They have a 65-50 lead over the Surrey 89ers, and a big component to that 15-point lead has been that man right there, Skylar White. 14 points, all of them in the second period. He was raining it from downtown. He was a flamethrower, Mark.
Well, and we'll talk a lot about the fact he's a great shooter. He is, but what he does is he gets enough space and separation there that you picked, popped, defense can't recover enough. Gets the separation. He's got Keno Lilly trying to put a hand in. Once that he has the high release on that shot, he is not interrupted by the defense. There's no eye-line guard on that shot. He does a great job at getting balanced very quickly. And it's not hard here for the defending team to know what Skyler does, because he's done it for years in this league. But again, late, the ball is already gone by the time you have a hand up. It's got to be up early. You can't rotate away, and he just punishes you every time. Tremendous. I think both ends of the floor, he was good defensively as well. Tremendous second quarter, really did put an exclamation mark under a great second quarter for the Phoenix.
And talking of defense for the Phoenix, also in that second quarter, we saw them commit Surrey into numerous turnovers, 6 overall. They scored 8 points off at those turnovers, and as we mentioned before we went off air in the first half, 13-2 in second chance points cleaning up off the glass.
Well, they're the two numbers that give you the extra 10 shots that they've had in that first half. And the other point that we said during commentary was a lot of those steals, their quickness on the ball, pressure on the ball, they got hands in the lane, deflections, turn those deflections into turnovers, and as you just pointed out, was so efficient at turning that defense into points.
And on the flip side, a lot for the Surrey 89ers to do, but they are a dogged team, they're a determined team. They will be looking to come out firing, get into their rhythm early in this third period, and they certainly will need to. For Lloyd Gardner, lots to think about.
Well, I think the important thing for Lloyd Gardner is to make the score manageable when it gets to the fourth quarter. 15 down now. If they could be single digits start of the fourth, they're in the game. They can't make the 15 in one go. Keno Lilly, right in shot there. He's the guy that he's feeling it. He needs a lot of good looks, and then everyone else just chips in.
And he's the only player in double figures for the Niners right now. 6 of 9 from the field, 3 3-pointers for 16 points. As we restart the third period, and Cheshire get the first possession of this third. Here is Rideau. Finds Cameron. Cameron gets blocked by Lawrence. Tyron Lawrence stands his ground. Lilly. Ogun Dengby, catch and shoot. 3 is money.
Well, we said he needed to score. He is a scorer. Gets his first 3.
Rideau right down Main Street, blows the layup, ball is batted. Here is White, White at the top, a 3, fifth 3 for Skylar White.
Effort, 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 and more effort for the Phoenix. Just a great job.
Lilly can't get that to fall. Skylar White collects. Here is Cameron. Cameron tripped by Tyron Lawrence. And that's the first team foul of the third period for the Niners.
The effort on the offensive glass the last time. Had no right to get that offensive rebound. Couldn't rebound it, but kept it alive. And that's the worst person for the 89ers to see catch the basketball.
Cameron finds Rideau. Rideau methodically comes out. A lot of time on the shot clock for the Phoenix. Rideau dancing with Graham. Still has it for the shoot. Got to do something with it. White under the basket, close to it, excuse me. Doesn't get it to fall. Bletchley just about collects the offensive board. Lovely pass to Cameron. Wide open a 3. Long. Rebounded Bletchley, and he'll go to the line for a couple. Well, in fact, no, it's
called offensive.
Offensive foul has been called as Andrew Lawrence took one to the face. Bletchley can't believe it as we look at the replay. But again, more second chance opportunities for Cheshire.
Everybody moves early. Everybody keeps it alive. Wow. I can see why, but basically they're literally saying Andrew Lawrence went straight up and down, and the contact was caused by the offensive player going forward, is my only logical interpretation of that one.
Well, Andrew Lawrence there in your picture has had some injury scares over the last couple of seasons. He's out for a huge chunk of last season. Here is Lilly Jr. And an offensive foul away from the ball, and that's on Michael Graham. And that'll be Michael Graham's first foul of the contest. He can't believe it.
Let's take a look.
Away from the ball, the moving screen.
Well, that was still.
And I think it was there.
Yeah, well, that's what they called.
Yeah. Policelli left open. He's short with the three. Bletchley collects, and Bletchley will go to the stripe.
As much as we talk about the size issues that the 89ers have, they're not really that, it's not dramatic. There's more physicality, there's more quickness in terms of their move to get the offensive rebound. They've got to match that, and they were matching that earlier in the game. But as the game has worn on, Cheshire keep going and going and going, and the 89ers are finding it harder and harder to match it.
Bletchley misses the first foul shot, now 1 of 3 from the stripe here this evening, and strokes the second. 69-53 in favour of the Phoenix here in the first leg of the first round of the SLB playoffs here at SSP. Lilly Jr. Lilly Jr. still has it. Lovely pass to Graham. Graham does well, gets it to go and one.
John, I think the officials have decided at the start of this third quarter they have to make some calls to make sure the game is controlled, because there's been a little bit more whistle in this third quarter, and I have to agree that to control this game, they probably had to do that.
As Robinson comes in, and Bletchley heads to the bench. Michael Graham, SLB leader in rebounds. At just over 9 a game, misses the extras. League leader as well in offensive rebounds, but still yet to pick up an offensive rebound in this contest. He's played just on 15 minutes. Here is Rideau. Rideau looking for help. There is White, a three. And this time had a hand in his face. Grazes the rim. There is Lilly Jr. There is Graham. Gets Policelli up and in the air and gets it to go. Cameron inside. Cameron the finish.
It's just straight down at you. Straight down. If you don't get there early to control it, they're going to go straight at you.
How many times have they attacked the middle in this game as well? Here is Lilly Jr. Lilly Jr. pulls up. And that would have been a three, doesn't get it to fall. Ogundengbe back to Lilly Jr. with the left hand.
Super little finish, great pass.
Robinson, again, Cheshire attacking and attacking. Robinson is fouled.
Again though, they've just been scored against and they get to the keyway. They've just been scored against. They'll get to the keyway. They're just going to attack you until you get them out. Adengbe does a great job to take it first time. Who initiated that contact? Did Adengbe had his hands in the cookie jar, so to speak? A little bit of reach. But they just will not let you just rest after scoring. They are going to push after every score, after every play.
Aidan Ling coming in to the game for the Niners as Graham heads to the bench. As Pat Robinson makes the first.
It's one of those key moments, John. They've got it down to, what, add it to 12, now it's to 13 with us to come. They can get it to that single-digit number at the start of the fourth, we have a game on.
Cheshire's biggest lead of the game has been 16 points as Robinson misses the second. And Skylar White comes up with it, and another chance for a second opportunity, and Robinson connects from downtown.
And if you look at the start of this third quarter, Skylar White on a second chance three, Robinson on a second chance three. Clean up the mess on the glass.
19-4 second chance opportunities. As Eitel Rock misses the three, Hayden Ling comes up with the rebound and the putback.
Well, I had to work hard for that one, Hayden Ling.
And again, Rideau to the cup.
Score, run. It's like watching, you know, and this isn't something that just happens. This is what Coach Thomas wants.
Eitel Rock, Lawrence Ogundengbe. Ogundengbe misses the three, gets his own rebound, can't get it to fall from under the basket, has his own rebound again, can't get it again, gotta get those. And Rideau off and running for room service.
Second chance points, breakout layups. It's wide. They've increased the lead now to 18.
And it's their biggest lead of the contest. Ling, Andrew Lawrence, Ogun Dengby, the extra pass. There is Lilly. Twisting, turning, dancing. Goes up, misses everything. Right, White collects it. Here come the Phoenix again. And a foul by Andrew Lawrence, stopping the transition.
But I know they're in the penalty. That's their issue.
Yeah.
They can't do it now because they're in the penalty. But that's one of the ways they could have controlled the tempo with that take foul that is commonplace. But geez, this team, missed shot, made shot, they're going to push it straight at you. If you don't stop, they're getting to the keyway.
12 of 25 from downtown here tonight. The Cheshire Phoenix, and Matthew Zona, a 37% three-point shooter for the season off the bench, comes into the game for Frankie Policelli. As Robinson, who's certainly made a living at the foul line here tonight, makes the first, and he has scored 6 of his 11 points here at the stripe. As Robinson, who averages 20 points a contest, leads the Phoenix in points, makes them both. And it's now a 20-point lead. And this is the first leg of this first round. And right now the Phoenix are running away with it. And we still got another leg to come in Ellesmere Port. Cholovinskas to the basket, aggressive.
Yeah, it's a great decision on the closeout. Really, look at this.
Zona at the other end. What a pass from Rideau, almost nonchalantly to Matthew Zona.
It's just great recognition because Zona was guarded by Cholovinskas, who still didn't get back. They just found the open man.
Cholovinskas at the other end is fouled. And we've said it all game long for Cheshire. They're getting into their sets so quickly that Surrey just cannot recover. Once they score a basket, Surrey, they have to immediately get into their defensive rhythm. But before you know it, the Phoenix have got to score.
You know, one of the things Surrey haven't done is they haven't picked up that first pass early to try and slow it down. They've just got back, but they've enabled them to get momentum in transition.
And another turnover, and the Phoenix come up with it. Robinson right down Main Street. Timeout, Lloyd Gardner, and Pat Robinson untouched with the layup. 85 to 63, 4:35 to go in the third. It's been a clinic from Cheshire. So much so that my voice has cracked.
Well, I'll help you out.
Oh my goodness.
I tell you though, I know we've been saying this during commentary, John, but their commitment to running the break, their commitment to getting the ball down the floor, challenges every team they play against. Stop us or we're getting to the ring. If you don't box us out, we're going to rebound. All those facets of the game, they don't happen. People talk about this team in all sorts of ways. Coach Thomas, that's the way he believes this team is best suited. He's got some different types of options because Skylar White in particular can stretch the floor, especially on the inside. But this is where Cheshire basketball is. They really run it every single time. You have to stop it. If you don't stop it, they're going.
Well, the last 8 points for the Phoenix, the last field goals, if you discount the free throws, have all been drives to the basket. 6 of those have been right down the middle.
Absolutely.
And that is an incredible statistic in its own right. The Phoenix just having freedom of the land here at SSP. Tyron Lawrence. Ogun Dengby, that was a risky pass, but Lawrence has it. Ogun Dengby back to Lawrence, 6 to shoot. And a foul on Zona, and that'll be Zona's second foul of the contest.
And for all their physicality and their quickness and trying to make things happen on the ball, that is now, they are just getting into the penalty.
Yeah.
Surrey have been there for a while.
Well, they haven't got any more fouls to give of Cheshire. So next foul will be free throws for Surrey. Here is Tyron Lawrence. Has some separation, decides not to use it. Shot clock at 7. Tyron Lawrence driving at Zona. Kicks it out, Ogun Dengby. Shot clock at 1, he has to put it up. And it's off.
No one in a green shirt gets to the glass. It looks like one of those games.
Oh, what a pass and the punch from Michael Diggins. What a pass, though.
But again, it's coming straight out of push transition. Defense hasn't got back in the way of controlling the ball. Bang, they get another 2 at the ring.
Michael Diggins comes in as we see the pass. That was beautiful from Cameron, and Diggins for his second dunk of the evening.
And that's another great thing. You will make better cuts if you know when you're open you're going to get the ball. The way they share it tonight, it's been a clinic.
Lawrence putting the moves on Zona. Lilly. Zona nearly got the steal. Tyron Lawrence now open a 3. Well, he's averaged 18 points in his last 4 games for the Niners. My goodness me, they'll need a lot of that. He nearly got the steal. Policelli picks it up, misses the 3. Zona, another offensive rebound for the Phoenix. That's 16 now for Cheshire. Lindo driving down Main Street. Another score on a drive. Lawrence attacks. Lawrence can't connect. Surrey now shooting under 50% from the field. Lindo a 3, no. Again another offensive rebound. Policelli under the basket, no. Robinson collects. A 3, money. Pat Robinson from downtown, and the lead balloons even more. Lilly. Sholovinskis, lovely touch pass, the extra pass from Ogun Dengby. Lilly Jr. slows it. 8 to shoot. Ball is loose. Eitel Rock comes up with it, puts up a long shot, and he is fouled in the act of shooting. He'll go to the line for a couple.
Well, with all the games in the SLB that we've seen this year, the word relentless, people use it when they talk about the London Lions. They use it when they talk about the Cheshire Phoenix. You've got to be relentless in that effort. That's primarily the reason they're number 1 and 2 in the league. Their relentless effort, their ability to push the basketball. It's all about their way of doing things, and they just impose it upon their opponent. 92 to 66. We are still 12 minutes to play in the first leg.
And the Cheshire Phoenix have now hit their Surrey Sports Park average for the season of 92 points. Well, 93 points exactly, but they're more or less there. As Eitel Rock hits the second, he'll come out. Andrew Lawrence comes in. But we've certainly seen the full repertoire of Cheshire's offense. The league leaders in points per game at 95. And they're going to certainly go above that average here in this first leg. Robinson inside. Again, a basket under the hoop.
They just cannot contain.
42 points in the paint tonight for Cheshire. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will go to the Phoenix.
Hands everywhere, active hands, deflections. You know, Coach Thomas, I'm sure, will know exactly how many deflections, let alone steals, etc. he has. Just a tremendous effort by the...
Zona. Lindo fakes, Lindo drives, Lindo finishes.
Wow.
I think a technical foul has been called. It's been called on Frankie Policelli. He must have said something to the officials. There's the replay of Lindo's drive to the cup. I think he must have said something thinking that might have been a foul. tightening their grip on this game after what had to, you've got to say, was a chaotic first 20.
I thought they were at the start, but that's the sort of foul I thought they were calling in this quarter, because Lawrence did go up and did knock the arm. And
Frankie Policelli now on to 4 fouls, so he will take a breather. 7 points for him here tonight. But the Surrey 89ers, they certainly have it all to do right now. They've been outscored 31-18 in this third period to go with the 42 points they conceded in the second. Tyron Lawrence to the cup.
And it's not their points, is it? It's not their offense. It's their inability defensively to contain Cheshire again in their early pushing now.
Lindo. Diggins driving at Cholovinskas. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebounded by Cholovinskas. And a foul by Diggins. And Cholovinskas maybe a little bit of a frustration there as he chucks the ball for the half-court heave. Thought the fans did that after the third quarter here at SSP. Cholovinskas trying to get in there early. As he'll go to the line. And we saw a lovely video clip of Nedas Cholovinskas, a player that really has excelled here at Surrey. Of course, spent a couple of years at the Cobham Cobras in the national leagues, and former Great Britain junior international, particularly with the under-20s, and certainly a player that's got an incredible future and most improved player from last season.
Well, and he spent that time at Ritas back in Lithuania as well. I mean, his talent's recognised, and he is going to have a pro career, obviously.
Rideau, final minute of the third. Lindo, the lefty, a 3. That's way off, and Cholovinskas with the rebound. That's already 7 rebounds as well for Nedas Cholovinskas in this contest. As a foul is called, and it'll be 2 shots for Tyron Lawrence, both teams in the penalty. And it's a second foul of this game on LaQuincy Rideau. As we see the replay, Tyron Lawrence hanging in the air. And Tyron Lawrence, who since his signing back in the new year has just elevated this Surrey team. Surrey got that win to end the year against Bristol. Lawrence came in, and then Surrey were just a totally different team, weren't they? Because at that time they beat Bristol. Yeah. They had lost 4 games in a row before he came in.
Well, that was the period where they actually got the win over the Lions, and they had that 3-guard punch with Ronald Polite alongside Lawrence. Lawrence just completed that 3-guard offense, and then everyone coming off the bench was able to make a contribution to those 3.
Lindo a 3, money. Demary Lindo from downtown, and the Phoenix on 99. Cholovinskas off balance, and it's out of bounds. So 15.7 on the clock, and the Phoenix chance to hit triple figures before the fourth quarter.
Wow. Well, wow in a great way, because if you like your basketball like this, which most people would, it's... we can talk about the technicalities, but there's nothing as exciting as a team that wants to push the basketball, challenge the defense, and they do it so well as a team.
Well, they've taken 16 more field goal attempts than Surrey, and Dejani Parkinson into the game to end the third. And a foul has been called, so Pat Robinson will go to the line. And Dejani Parkinson, now obviously, Mark, on a personal level, being a former head coach of the Hemel Storm, Dejani Parkinson will actually come out now, a player that was on loan in Hemel Hempstead this year, and that's a really good franchise to learn more from, especially with very quality players, most notably players like Darian Nelson-Henry, Sam Newman. He learned a lot off them.
Well, at the beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be a great move for Hemel Storm to get a young guard that could really take a little bit of pressure off Sam Newman. It's hard to go 30-plus minutes in the BCB, and I thought he could have done that. Didn't quite work out because the Hemel Storm had an interesting season that struggled a little bit, made a coaching change 2/3 of the way through the season. And it's always difficult then, if you've got a player on loan, to try and integrate them and use them in the right way when you're trying to save your season.
Oh, there's a bit of afters there as Tyrone Lawrence got the rebound. LaQuincy Rideau at the heart of it, but thankfully cooler heads prevailed. 2.8 to go in this third period. But it is all Cheshire Phoenix, 99-73 to the good here at SSP.
Seems a long time ago, the end of the first quarter, where
it doesn't exist.
Surrey up 5, and they're probably thinking they're in the game.
As Cholovinskis' heave is no good, and that ends the third period here at SSP. And the Phoenix have a 99-73 lead, and that man right there, Ben Thomas, has got to be pleased with what he has seen here so far. We've got 30 minutes of this quarter-final leg to go as well. Of course, we've got the second leg in Cheshire on Sunday.
Well, the fans in Cheshire always come out as we look at the numbers. And the point you've been making, 16 more field goal attempts, 41 to 24 on the glass. All these numbers just equate to a game that Cheshire have just dominated physically. Their pressure on the ball has been exceptional. Their work on the glass has been start that third quarter where Surrey had a little run. Every single point that they got was a second chance point. First 7 points were all second chance points for Cheshire. It's just a tremendous all-round effort, and it's a style of play that the fans love. And so quarterfinal, they want semi-final action lined up for next week. They've got to get the job done. They're pretty much done even at this stage here. Yeah. Being up 26, but they have a way of playing that people will buy tickets to watch anyway. And it's just exciting. 16
of those 34 points came in the paint for the Phoenix in that third quarter. That just tells you how easy it was for Cheshire to get inside. They've outscored Surrey in the second and third quarter, 76 to 45. For Lloyd Gardner, what are you telling your team going into this fourth quarter, knowing that there's another leg to go?
See, the issue that Coach Gardner has now is, what do you tell your team that they're going to believe? Because you could say, hey guys, let's just try, see if we can get this to a manageable number because there's a second leg. Because if it stays at 26 games done on Sunday, unless there's a miracle somewhere, what he's got to do and what his team will have now, there's a pride aspect to this, that they're not going to want, as you saw with the Lawrence and Rideau, they're not laying down here. They're still pushing. They're still trying to create. So they've really, this is a pride moment here for the 89ers. It's the end of the season. They will not want their last game at home in front of their fans to be an absolute blowout.
A look of concern on the face of head coach Lloyd Gardner as we start the fourth period. Pat Robinson leads the way with 19. Skylar White has 17. Keno Lilly Jr. with 18 for Surrey, as you saw earlier in the graphic. Here is Bretchley going inside. He'll get the 2 to fall.
That's a super play.
Yeah.
Whoever Keno Lilly had, they were going to put in the low post. They just went high-low. There's a lot more to this team than I think they get credit for.
And Bretchley now moves on to 9. Here is Lawrence, nearly lost it. Tyrone Lawrence twisting and turning. There is Lilly, a 3.
I know that the 21 points here, people will point out to it, etc.
Rideau inside. Rideau gets it to go, and a foul. Or maybe not. No, a foul was called on Tyrone Lawrence. Rideau with the reaction there that made you think there was a few Surrey fans even on their feet as well. As we have a look at the replay, Rideau, lovely turn. That's just typical what Cheshire have done typically all game long.
It's deja vu.
Yeah.
He just made a tough free, Keno Lilly. And Quincy gets to the ring, and it's a three-point play, so he gets the three-point play in the old-fashioned way. But Surrey have just been unable to contain this team, and this team is, they're in your face in a really good way from their perspective.
As Rideau, the Florida native, misses the extras. But a steal as Cameron picks up. Here is Rideau. Rideau driving at Graham, goes inside, bumbles his way in. Timeout, Lloyd Gardner. 105-76.
Well, for Coach Gardner and the 89ers, this could be a very long 8:55 in this fourth quarter. You're down pretty much 30. You've really got to find a way to try to slow the tempo of the game down. And we could talk for a long time about, it's a two-legged game. You're down 29, and you're going up to half-time.
And that's LaQuincy Rideau's double-double as well now. 10 points, 12 assists for the contest.
How many players have we said they really sum up how Cheshire played the game?
And he's certainly, again, and we talk about players that typify how Ben Thomas likes his team. LaQuincy Rideau, this is his second spell with the Phoenix as well, and he really has been outstanding, not just in this game, but all season long. Has a look at the top three scorers. Pat Robinson, 19 points. Skylar White with 17. Michael Diggins has 14. Keno Lilly Jr. has 21. Teo Ogundengbe with 8 points. He started tonight and he's made a good contribution, a veteran.
Absolutely.
But right now, Surrey, without Ron Polite here tonight, have really struggled to dictate any sort of flow, get into their rhythm. They needed that leader tonight, didn't they, in Ron Polite?
Yeah, and as a bigger guard, he would have been one of the guys that you would have hoped and expected to be able to contain Cheshire early, so force them into more of a half-court game, slow down, and not turn the ball over as much. But the difference between the two teams at the moment is huge, based upon the way that Cheshire have generated points from their defense, shot the ball really well. We've got another technical foul. Lawrence with the foul.
As Skylar White hits the extras.
And they're all frustration technical fouls now for the 89ers.
And that's Tyron Lawrence done for the night as well. He's fouled out on that technical foul. Lilly to Graham inside. That's a lovely find from Keno Lilly.
Super pass. And again, offense has not been the issue for 89ers. They got 78 points. Still a long time to go in the game.
As Petchley puts in a three. Bank is open here at SSP.
Well, what's the phrase? Doesn't rain, it pours. It's just pours.
Well, it's been a hailstorm, hasn't it, tonight? As Eitel Rock can't cash in the three. Cholovinskas, he'll attempt it, and he'll miss everything. Wetchley, lovely move, and the finish off the window.
And this is going to be a little bit harsh on Cholovinskas. He took the three and stood. The guy guarding him had already gone. The points were already in the book from that moment.
Lilly Jr. over White, short, rebounded by Rideau. Rideau to the basket, goes for a little bit of a spin, doesn't get that to fall. Another offensive rebound. Here is Cameron to Robinson. 7 to shoot. Robinson attacks. And Ogundengbe the rebound. 5 rebounds for Teo Ogundengbe. Ogundengbe a three, that's short. And Wetchley is fouled by Cholovinskas. 8 of 27 from downtown for Surrey, whereas Cheshire 15 for 31. As Cholovinskas comes out and Andrew Lawrence checks in, Skylar White and Tobias Cameron come out, and Matthew Zona and Frankie Policelli check in. 15 of 31 to 8 of 27 from downtown, as you see there. Here is Robinson. Robinson just gliding to the basket and one. Pat Robinson literally walking his way into the paint.
I think he literally did walk his way into the paint. Super finish. But it's again another example of Phoenix breaking down the defense, getting their feet in the keyway, and then finishing.
It's just a glide, bit of footwork, and Michael Graham committed. And that's a second foul on the big man.
Almost, I would question the legitimacy of the footwork, but I don't want to question anything that Cheshire are doing to get into the basket. It's just been exceptional.
And in this modern world, this modern game, I'm not going to question footwork either.
No.
Here's Lilly Jr. Idle Rock steps in, gets stripped. Here is Robinson. Robinson has a risky pass, and it's asking too much of Frankie Policelli, and the ball goes out of bounds. That's only Cheshire's 6th turnover in this game, only their 2nd turnover in the second half.
Well, and when you consider the pace they're playing at, of trying to push the basketball, trying to make things happen quickly, you know, it's a great job by them.
12 turnovers for the Niners as Timothy Nwankwo comes back into the game. Here is Lilly, Ogun Dengbi. Lilly Jr. gets it back, putting the moves on Robinson all over him like a rush. Lilly Jr. breaks free, misses the 2. Here comes Policelli. Rideau. Retchley a 3, short, rebounded by Nwankwo. Lawrence, Idle Rock. Good tracking back and the steal from Policelli, and that's an unsportsmanlike foul from RJ Idle Rock. 6:16 to play, and the Phoenix in firm control. They've occupied not just the front 2 seats, but the back seats as well. And right now, the 89ers are reeling. As we see there, Policelli with the steal.
Must be pretty close to the leading scorer of the season right now.
As Policelli makes the first. Policelli with 8.7 rebounds here tonight. As he makes them both. And a timeout has been called by the, I think by the Phoenix, with 6:16 to play and a 116-78 lead, and those Cheshire fans are going to be enjoying themselves in Ellesmere Port on Sunday.
Well, there's a few Cheshire fans that have made the trip. They're going to be enjoying it. If you can enjoy a trip back to Cheshire late on a Friday night, they're going to be enjoying it. In transition, they've been exceptional. In the half court, they've recognized where they have advantage. You know, the play you saw in the first lot of the highlight there, you know, posting up Keno Lilly with a high-low entry, they just executed it really well. And, you know, Coach Thomas now will be saying, hey, 116-78, we've got to work, we're going to work on this, we're going to do this for the rest of the... So he gets something out of these last 6:16. He wants to be relentless in how he's going to... He may be looking now to do things that are going to help him. He knows what he has to do to make it to the 0-2. So this is Coach Thomas making sure his players maintain their level of performance, because in the playoffs, you want to keep that momentum going the whole time.
6:16 to play. As Cheshire have certainly run away with this first leg, and this is only the first half, as an offensive foul away from the ball has been called, and a bit of a reprieve here for the 89ers, and that's a 3rd foul on Matthew Zona.
Well, the Phoenix ran some flex, you know, trying to stretch the floor with some down screens to release. I haven't seen a flex for a little while.
Very old school, isn't it? Lilly Jr. a 3, and that's no good. Rideau, Zona in the open floor, blocked by Nwankwo. Wow. Big rejection from Timothy Nwankwo. Here is Idle Rock at the top. Back irons a 3. Rideau again asking too much, this time of Jackson Bretchley, and it goes out of bounds.
This is where Coach Thomas, that's why he took the timeout primarily, for them not to be sloppy, for them not to lose what they've really done so well, just their level of execution. It's been exceptional.
Lawrence grazes the rim with his pull-up. Rideau, who has orchestrated this offense sublimely, and he'll go to the line. No, he travels with it. Well, I mean, there was a couple of Surrey players in the way of where we were sitting, but I think we'll need to have a look at a replay of that one as we take us back. All you, Mark. Oh, no, this is the replay of the block.
Does a great job, mate. But you talked about him earlier on. Earlier on, you talked about him, the talent and potential. It's all there.
As Lilly gets that to fall. Maybe we'll look at it in a bit. It was Petchley blocks again. This time Nwankwo with his second block in a row. Policelli in and out. And Eitel Rock and Zona fighting for it. Surrey get the ball. As Teo Egadingby heads to the bench, Nedas Chelevinskas comes in. Being told by producers, no replay on that. How dare they? Nwankwo with three, gets it to go. First field goal for Timothy Nwankwo. Here is Lindo, Zona. Dejani Parkinson also back in. Lindo driving. There is Policelli, shot clock winding down. Policelli misses the three in the corner. Lilly pulls up, long three, puts it in, and a foul. Long ball.
It's what Keno Lilly can do at the moment with his 23, well, I think it goes to 26 points.
Yeah, 26 now.
26 points. He really needed a little bit more support if they're going to do it. But again, Keno Lilly done what Keno Lilly has done for this 89ers team all season.
Player who leads the Niners with 18 points a game. We highlighted him at the top. Of course, has NBA Summer League experience with the San Antonio Spurs. Has 26 points here tonight. 3:57 to play, and for Surrey, it's just about finishing strong now. They've got a 4-point play opportunity. It's just a case now of try and get to the hundreds,
well,
really.
You would hope, as we said earlier on, they're going to play hard. We've seen them playing hard. Nwankwo's block. Keno Lilly's not going anywhere. As you see, he has the 28, but what he needed was a little bit more support. Lawrence has obviously fouled out. Graham has his 10 points, so he's around his average. But he just hasn't had enough support. But again, offense isn't their problem. They've scored 86 points. They're close to 100. They just run into an express train in the way that Cheshire put a performance here in transition on the floor tonight. They've been exceptional.
68 field goal attempts for Surrey in this contest, 83 for Cheshire, and that just tells you the tale of the tape, doesn't it? And when you're shooting 51% out of those 83 field goal attempts compared to 47 from the 68 that Surrey have put in, you're never going to win ball games.
No. Well, you're getting a higher percentage with more shots. I mean, it doesn't take a mathematician to tell you how easy that is to work out.
I do like that, mathematician. I'm using that instead of mathematician these days. I'll tell you, that's brilliant.
I tried my best to get mathematician out.
That's a saying. Here is Policelli. Cameron launches a three, doesn't get that to fall, and it's rebounded athletically by Nwankwo. Lilly dancing, gets away from White, and in and out. And Wetchley collects the rebound. And Wetchley will slow it. No need to rush really for the Phoenix at this rate. Here is Cameron. White for the shoot. Inside it goes, and the finish from from Rideau. And that's actually an and one as well for LaQuincy Rideau. So he'll go back to the line. He now moves on to 14 to go with 14 assists.
He's just so strong. For a guard in that situation, you know, he takes contact really well and is still able to put the ball where he wants to put the ball. Highest points total for Phoenix this year now. I mean, they score for fun.
Well, we sound like a broken record, but yeah, they're not the leading scorers in the SLB for any old reason. 118 points. And as you said earlier, Mark, that 28-23 scoreline after the first quarter from the Niners, it seems like an eternity ago, doesn't it?
Well, they're pretty close to scoring 100 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah. Well, they had 76 for the second and third period. Here is Lilly Jr. Lilly Jr. a bit out of control, still has it. There is Parkinson, a 3, short, rebounded White. 6 rebounds to go with 18 points for Skylar White. And miraculously has only shot 1 3-pointer in this second half. Here is White. White backing down, shot clock at 3, turnaround jumper, doesn't get that friendly drop. Cameron going for the offensive board, Betchley has it, Betchley now driving inside. There is Policelli. Policelli gets it to go. No offensive foul.
That's a great stand by RJ. O'Rourke. Policelli, I think that's his 5th foul.
And that'll be, I was just about to mention, that'll be Policelli's 5th foul. So he comes out. Lindo checks in. Ogundenbi will come in as well. Cholovinskas will take a seat. 2:20 to play. Cholovinskas, 8 points for him here this evening. Here is Lilly. Lilly. Whistle has gone. And a foul has been called, and once again the Surrey fans applaud. And that'll be 2 shots, and that's a 3rd foul on Rideau.
I mean, 118.87, and Rideau is still getting after it.
Yeah.
Doesn't like the call. We'll still tell the referee he doesn't like the call, because it's not about the scoreline. It's about what is acceptable and not acceptable to this Cheshire team, and that's why, you know, they have this relentless approach to the game.
Even Tobias Cameron was giving some attitude to his teammates and the referee. Of course, once this season is finished for the Phoenix, Cameron will be heading back home to New Zealand. He'll be playing for the Southland Sharks in their league. Their league down over in New Zealand has already got underway. Cameron will join them when this season is finished. Just the 27 hours on the plane. Here is White twisting and turning off the window and down.
Well, there's the example you talked about, the additional options that he now gives. Posted up, finished off the glass.
Coming up to a minute and a half remaining. Lilly a long 3.
Just a pure, with a capital P, shooter, isn't he?
Rideau. There is White to answer. Puts it in.
There you go. You score a 3, I'm going to go right back at you. Get the ball to the right guy at the right time, and they've done that consistently throughout the game.
6 of 9 from downtown for White tonight. There is Lilly, misses the 3 at the other end. And we come up to a minute and 10 to play. Witchley puts it in. Time out, Surrey. And could Surrey be staring down the barrel of an elimination? And we still have another leg to play.
Well, the answer is yes, by the way. Could they? Absolutely could they, because we can talk about all sorts of things. Let's talk about the really positive thing here about Cheshire. This style, the way that they've put it on the floor, the way they've been relentless at both ends of the floor, has just been too much. They have overpowered the 89ers. And it's not about the poor level that the 89ers, but it's about the high level that the Phoenix have played. 89ers with 92 points. Lily's had a super game for 32 points. Yeah, he might have needed a little bit more support. Yeah, they could have done a better job at taking care of the basketball. But that's the quality of what Phoenix do to every team in this league. They challenge you on every possession. Playoff time, they are a dangerous team against anyone. And you wouldn't bet against them not only finishing this tie-off on Sunday, but making it all the way to the end of the season and the showpiece at the O2.
Well, they've been to the O2 before. I know the Cheshire Phoenix fans, not just here in attendance tonight, but watching here on DAZN, will certainly want a day trip to the capital and the premier facility in Great Britain that'll host the SLB playoff final.
And those Cheshire fans have a super reputation of making those events like noisy with great support.
Oh yeah.
And they really add to the occasion.
Certainly one of the best fans in the SLB, there's no question about that. Travel home and away, they normally sell out Ellesmere Port's facility and they make it a rocking atmosphere as Cameron with the rejection on the shot from Lily. And with 56 seconds to go, the Phoenix ahead by a comfortable margin, and they're still trying to get stops, as we see here on the replay.
It's just relentless, John. This is what we do. It doesn't matter if it's minute 1 or minute 40. This is what we do, and Cheshire make that statement every possession.
Parkinson comes out. Cholovinskas checks in. 9 on the shot clock for the hosts. Nwankwo. Lily drives down the middle, up and under, doesn't get it to 4, but he'll go to the line for a couple. And that's a 4th foul on LaQuincy Rideau. 32 points for Keno Lilly Jr. tonight, has a chance to make it 34. And makes the first. 50 seconds to play here in the first leg. Second leg in Cheshire on Sunday at 5:30. Here is Rideau. Rideau, burst of speed, gets it. And just to make sure the official just calls basket interference even though it dropped.
Well, 128.93,
yeah.
Cheshire still up the floor.
And they're still relentless, as you mentioned. That's a key word, isn't it? Relentless, and that's what Cheshire have been tonight. Here is Oging Dingby, gets it and won. Another 4-point play incoming.
That's not a great foul, mine, at all.
Well, already in this game, we've seen 3 4-point play opportunities for both teams. 2 for Surrey, 1 for Cheshire. Oging Dingby, the latest beneficiary of it, but in and out with his foul shot. As White is open, back iron to 3, rebounded by Oging Dingby. Oging Dingby with rebound number 6 here in this first leg. Rideau, though, gets the steal. And Rideau out of control. That'll be a foul on LaQuincy Rideau, and he'll be done for the evening. It's academic now anyway, 6 seconds left.
Well, it's academic if Quincy Negro just leaves the floor. If he gets ejected, it's not academic.
He's still talking.
Well, he's clearly showing dissent against the call. And as great as he is for Cheshire, as great as he is for the way that this team play, this team need him when it comes to the last stages of the playoff. I don't think they can win without him.
Well, he's fouled out now, 16 points and 17 assists tonight for LaQuincy Rideau, but fouls out of the contest. So Surrey will get freebies with 6.4 on the clock. And Keno Lilly, chance to just pad out his points just a little bit more, but he misses the technical free throw. And Ben Thomas hurrying it up, just got the ball and then just whipped it to the official on the other side.
So Rideau got his 5th foul for the offensive foul, and then his 6th foul, so it's a bench tee.
It'll be a bench tee. Final seconds of this game, this first leg. Lilly inside, there is Eitel Rock, blocked by Zona. And even though it's a big win here tonight for the Phoenix, playing to the final buzzer, Matthew Zona with the rejection on Eitel Rock. 128-96 is your final. And you've got to say, Mark, that Cheshire have one step into the last 4.
Well, maybe 3 quarters, maybe most of, and they've deserved everything that they've with this win tonight. They deserved it. Down at the end of the first quarter, from that moment on, it was just, we've used the word, a relentless dismantling of the 89ers. And the 89ers with 96 points. If you'd have offered Coach Gardner 96 points at the start of the game, he'd have taken those and he would believe he'd be in the game. But he now looks at a 32-point margin on the trip to Cheshire. That is going to be a very difficult game for the 89ers. But Cheshire, as you say, 1 foot in the semi-final.
And after trailing 28-23, that team right there outscored Surrey in the final 3 quarters, 105-68. An incredible masterclass by Ben Thomas's side as we have a look at the stats. 53% on 91 field goal attempts. And Surrey didn't actually shoot the ball badly, let's be honest. But when you're playing a team that is shooting that well at such a high volume, it's hard to win.
Well, it's hard to win, especially when you add the second chance points in. 56-37 on the glass. They were just enormous in their effort. 35 assists. I know Rideau had 17 of those himself, but 35 assists. That's a team. From Coach Thomas's perspective, everything you really want is there. Defensive effort, number of second chance points, 35 assists. That is Cheshire basketball. No better example of it. As well as Keno Lilly played with his 33 points, as well as Surrey tried to hang in here at the offensive end. They were outpowered relentlessly throughout the whole game. Cheshire just was the aggressor and got what they deserved. A phenomenal road win against a tough team who's had their best season in the SLB and the old BBL.
And you mentioned on the second chance points, 21-8. Cheshire out-rebounded Surrey on the offensive glass. 24-6 on second chance opportunities. 62 points in the paint to 38 from Surrey as we wind down the highlights of what has been a clinic from the visitors here tonight. It will certainly be a happy trip back to the northwest for the Cheshire Phoenix and their supporters. And there they are, Skylar White, a great ambassador for this fantastic franchise, thanking the Cheshire Phoenix fans. Let's have a look at what has transpired here tonight. Newcastle Eagles, they also have a deficit against the champions London Lions. That should be an interesting second leg going into the Copper Box. And the Sheffield Sharks getting the road win over the Leicester Riders, but like Manchester and Bristol, certainly all to play for on a 4-game slate on a Sunday.
Well, it's going to be a great game, but that Manchester-Bristol game is the one that jumps out at you. You know, it's a 3-point deficit. Bristol going to have to turn around at home. The rest on the away team, obviously Leicester pulled it back to a 3-point game. That's still there. The other two are big margins. So it looks like a great day on Sunday.
Of course, the Sheffield Sharks led by double digits at the half against Leicester. Leicester came back strong. They've had a difficult season, but are showing so much fight in them. But the key word tonight here in Guildford was relentless. That's what the Cheshire Phoenix were here. 52% on 91 field goal attempts here against the Surrey 89ers. Pat Robinson had 22. Leading the way was Skylar White, 6 of 10 from downtown. He had 23 points. LaQuincy Rideau, a double-double of 16 points and 17 assists. The loss of Ronald Polite certainly hampered the Surrey 89ers. Keno Lilly did his best, played all 40 minutes for 33 points. But when you draw it down, Surrey have it all to do going into Ellesmere Port on Sunday. My thanks to Mark Clark. I am John Hobbs. Have a pleasant evening wherever you are. Goodbye for now.
This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.